Good
Hello and
morning.
hello, Inbaal. How are you?
I'm great, Tor. How are you?
Uh, that's a question. I'm
Further
all right. I'm
details
all right.
later.
Yeah, we'll go into that in a bit. But yeah, I'm all right. It feels like it's been such a long time since we've done this, and it's only been like what, 2 weeks. But anyway,
It's
it's
been
the
2 very busy weeks.
2 very busy weeks. But it's the first Predict the Week of 2025. I don't remember. Is it the 6th of January? So it's technically also the last day of Christmas. So if you're still singing Jingle Bells like me, don't worry. You can still, sing it today without people giving you the side eye. Um, but yeah, so welcome to Predict the Week. Welcome to 2025. Welcome to the new week. Welcome to the new month. We're only a couple of days into January. How are you finding all the newness? Because I know it excites you very, very much.
It's really, really true. Happy New Year. And it's going to be Happy New Year for a long while. I'm going to be calling this Predict the Year for at least for at least the coming hour. Yes, I get so excited by any beginnings, anything new, and I love the chance to turn over a new leaf in any situation. And
Mm,
so having a new month to work with is extremely fun for me. Having a new year to plan for, having a new year to set goals for is so exciting. And my nice new thing for myself. Oh, we've got Sabrina with us. Hi, it must be 1 a.m. where you are. Hi to everybody watching, and Happy New Year wherever in the globe you are. Um, I got a Christmas present from one of my sisters-in-law, which is a diary. And on the outside, it's like this kind of moons and 2025 and very
mm.
purpley and very me. Yeah, it's
Very
fabulous.
you. Yeah, you took the words out
So
of my mouth. I was
me.
going to say it's very you.
Yeah, it's got this kind of cozy cover, and it's just sort of so Pisces. It's so appropriate. And then I opened it, and it was just like a diary, just like like a regular diary, something that you'd have, at school, or if you worked like an office job.
Mm.
And I have, as you know, a paper diary. I've got my pink. So I was kind of looking at it and thinking, let's make something fun with it. And I always say, I don't keep a dream diary because I used to keep a dream diary in order to develop lucid dreaming. And I developed
Mm.
lucid dreaming to such an effective degree that it made it much less restful for me to
Of
sleep.
course. Yeah.
But my manifesting at that time was just extreme. It was radical. So I looked at that diary, and that diary looked at me, and that is now my new dream diary. And you know that for years now, you know that because you know personally, like all the ins and outs of everything that goes on with me. So you know that for years now, I've barely been remembering dreams at all. I say I don't really dream, but I know that obviously I do dream. I just don't remember the dreams. Anyway, so now it has been about 4 days that I've been charting my dreams. Manifesting is still on a good level, still not gone through the roof. But now I'm remembering them, and I'm having the funnest dreams. I had a dream. I napped yesterday because I had to be up all night. Different story. So I went for a nap, and during that nap, I dreamt that my mom and dad, so my mom's no longer with us, but I dreamt that the two of them took me and my best friend from childhood, for a tour through something that was like a toy slash art exhibition. And we went through some scary bits, and we were like in a car. And then at the very end, I had to come. I hate heights as well. You find out a lot of stuff about me now. Hate heights. So at the end of that exhibition, I had to climb on like an artwork of chairs upon chairs upon chairs. And at the very end, they kind of bent back into a big ravine. And I would normally be so scared because I do not like heights anyway. I don't even like climbing on heights on like regular stairs that,
Yeah.
pass inspection and everything. But my bestie, my best friend from childhood, was right behind me, and she touched
Your other bestie.
other bestie OG. And when the thing bent, I was not scared at all. And that is sort of where you get closer to the lucid dreaming. It's not quite lucid
Mm.
dreaming yet. I know it takes a few weeks, but that little diary that is, that was it's such a nothing, it's just a notebook, has already sort of entered my, my new habits. And that is exciting. And, it's so much easier than coming up with a habit that is, like physically demanding or anything
Mm.
like that. How has
I
the
love
start
that
of
so
your
much.
year been?
Well, for those of you who don't follow me elsewhere, I injured my leg. I think that was the 20th. No, I injured my leg on the 19th of December. Still hobbling a little bit. And then I got really, really sick from the 20th. And then I got a lot of that stuff. So it's a whole story in and of itself. On the 25th. Um, so I've spent much of the break, all my plans kind of went out the window. A lot of stuff I've just had to just sort of forget about. I mean, we even spoke out, very, very candidly, we even spoke about me not being on the show today, just in case. Um, so yeah, it's been a lot of rest and a lot of playing Fantasy Star and stuff like that. So I didn't really do much. I didn't really get to do much. Oh, and in amongst all that, my cat attacked the Christmas tree, my little kitten
Right.
Yuki. Which is why, I was saying to you privately, I'd got like a really cheap one because I thought, well, got a kitten. It's inevitable. It's like a rite of passage for cats to sort of, attack the tree.
I think
So
it's a
there was
rite of
just,
passage for Christmas trees as well.
yeah,
If they
yeah,
haven't made it to the floor, they haven't lived.
right. So it was just kind of like one little thing after another, as well as being sick and injured. And I felt like I had all, I was so smug, wasn't I? Oh, Mercury retrograde didn't affect me. I had all my Mercury retrograde in the shadow days, all of it.
Right.
Exes coming back, tech issues, you name it, it happened in those, in those shadow days. So that was my break.
Yeah.
That was the start
Wow.
of my year, and the end of last year. But look, it wasn't all bad. I got to sit and watch movies and play games, and so I'm not complaining. It's just
I
what
think
it was.
there is something very special in how the vast majority of the Western world kind of grinds to a halt. And therefore, because I don't take time off as such, I
Mm.
don't actually sort of sail between those days I'm not working, but fewer people look for readings when when they're picking their Christmas tree up from the floor and so on. So you
Why
know
did my cat do this?
yeah, exactly. So I find that I work less, sleep more, which really benefits everyone. We actually have Barbara sending a message from Facebook saying, I dream every night, all my life. 70% of the people in my dreams are crossed over.
Oh
So do you
wow.
find that they give you messages for other people during your sleep hours? Because you could probably sort of save yourself a lot of the hassle by keeping a dream diary, a little bit to remember stuff, but also it'll enhance your ability to just sort of psychically pick up during your awake hours, so that they don't, kind of monopolize your sleep hours. Let us know if you're a psychic yourself, and what other things happen in the dreams. Yeah, it's very exciting for me to be, to be dreaming it all. We also had, so since we mentioned December, because we can't pretend that this all started on the 1st of January. In December, we had 2 new moons. And I was kind of out of my mind excited about that. And it means that the second new moon was on the 30th of December. So it's not really that far before. So we had the new moon, the new week, the new month, and the new year, all sort of very close together. Right. Barbara says, yes, I keep a diary. So yeah, I'm hoping to remember a lot more. It was great for me to not remember for a few years, really, because my regular sort of everyday awake brain was so overloaded. But now I feel like it's got the space a little bit, it's cleared out, it's defragged the brain a bit. And and now it's time to kind of reattach things. So since we're kind of predict the weeking a little bit, what have you been up to? I know that the charts have been kind to you and your music.
Yeah, it's not fully my project to speak about, but something I was involved in did do very, very well at the end of the year, and that's very, very exciting. I've also started working on something very, very secretly that people have been asking for over 10 years, and I just kept saying nah. And then yesterday I was like, okay, just randomly, okay. So I started working on that. And otherwise just kind of hobbling around.
Yeah,
with my
yeah.
life.
No, the hobbling is good. The hobbling is good. I remember, so obviously all the 2025 horoscope, like my horoscopes that are coming out, are were written in like November. So you know what I mean? So I don't remember exactly, but I do remember that the 6 makes some kind of a change. So I've got my ephemeris January, definitely got the 2025 from the other room. Very good, because the 2024 one is still on the same table.
Did you
Right.
keep them when you finished with them, or do you scrap them
Yeah,
along the way?
look. So better people than me get the big book that is like 50 years, but I love having the little ones. So
The
we've
little
got
ones are cute.
2005, because look that they've got kind of a rainbow effect. Not like fully, because I had a gap in between. 2005 is when I started the Elle magazine, I think. That must be when I was doing the Elle magazine horoscope. So 2005, 2006. I've got 2 of 2006 because I lost one, I had to get another one. 2007, 2008, 9, 10. And then there's a suspicious gap between 10 and 22.
Oh.
Yeah. So for a few years, I wasn't doing regular horoscopes for anyone. And because, I'm online all the time anyway, I just sort of use the ephemeris. I just sort of pull up. There's loads of free ephemera. They're just, just as accurate. It's exactly the same. So I would pull them up. I think for a very short while, I actually used to print out. I don't know if I kept them.
I know that you did used to print them out because privately we'd spoke about you printing stuff out for a radio interview. Yeah.
Yeah, 2012. There we go. So yeah, for a short while I used to print them out. But then it turned, when I went back to doing regular horoscopes, it is so much easier for me. First of all, it's easier on the eye than looking at like a glaring screen. But also if I'm doing everything on the same screen, so I'm typing up and then sort of switching over and going, so is Mars going into Cancer? Is Mars going into Sagittarius? What is going on? It's so much easier for me to just sort of go, oh yeah, there we go. So today, the 6th, Mars is in fact going into Cancer, and that explains, Dor, why your resistance to that project is because at the moment Mars is actually in retrograde. Obviously, otherwise it
Of
wouldn't go
course.
from Leo to Cancer. So your Mars retrograde in Leo would have been like, you don't tell me what projects I need to be involved with. I am saying no. And because I said no, the no means no. Don't be so rude. And then that same Mars retrograde, which is annoyed, but also a little bit tired, goes into Cancer, and Cancer is such a people pleaser. And that's when you go, do you know what? Yes. Now I'm saying yes. So this is yes. Is everybody happy now? So this is like very in keeping. Very in keeping. Where is your Mars? Where is your Mars? Your Mars? Yeah, it must be something interesting.
Yeah.
Because my Mars is probably like my most interesting thing in my chart, to my detriment.
I haven't properly looked at my chart for a long time, so I can't remember where everything is. Because you know yourself, when you're doing it for work, this. I don't read my own cards. Do you read your cards for yourself? I don't really read cards for myself.
No, you read cards for myself. No, I don't. I don't read.
And you read for me.
And I do forget portions of my chart. So if I need to understand something, I need to figure something. Sorry, out of the corner of my eye. To everybody who is not in the north of England right now, we have thick snow. The schools are closed, and out of the corner of my eye, I could see something is going on in the garden, and it is one of my children, 2 of my children, tormenting the olive tree. This is an olive tree in Yorkshire. It's the olive tree is sitting there in the snow going, what are you guys playing at? What what exactly is the deal here? And now it's got kids picking at it. But yeah, good. As long as they pick at it, we can do the show. Fabulous. If social services are watching, Daddy is here. He's monitoring this disaster. But no, you read for me. If I need a reading, I ask. And generally, and I don't know about you, but the more you do this work, the more you see that stuff turns out for the best in the end anyway.
Yeah.
And so that, when you're sort of really hot for a reading because the anxiety sort of gets the better of you, that happens less and less the more you're involved in reading, manifesting, goal setting for yourself. What made you ask, though?
Well, I was just thinking, because I don't really look at my own chart, and then I was thinking, well, I don't really read my own cards, and then, I was wondering about yourself, except that the past couple of days I've been asking my cards like small questions, like which game should I play? How many cups of coffee is acceptable? Things like that. Or all the cups of coffee are acceptable. And
what card did you get for that? Did you get the 10 of cups?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 10 of cups and well, I use these. So it was the 10 of hearts, and was it the 10 of clubs? Yeah, I can't find. We'll just look at that one. It's not the 10 of hearts, but it's cute.
Oh, that's cute.
So it was hearts and I think clubs. And speaking of readings, we're gonna delve into the general predictions. Right. The general
We're going to
predictions
predict the year for you. Just give me all the opportunities to say predict the year. It's bringing me so much joy, and this is the only time that I'm going to get to say it, because by next week we're already old hat in this January business.
I think that's why they were stopping me saying predict the week, because they wanted it to be predict the year, and I'm resisting predicting the year.
Yeah, resistance is futile, Tor. Futile.
I'm learning that.
Yeah.
And in a little while, we will also be answering your your questions. So if you've got a question that you would like us to answer psychically, or just about anything, like, if you just want to know, what coffee we drink or whatever, pop it in, and Val will pop it in the special inbox, and we'll get to that later on in the show. So do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, why not? Why not? So I'm doing a little yearly reading for everyone. Now, it sounds like a really tall order, a yearly reading for the whole year, 365 days for everybody watching, after. It's not a tall order, because this will hopefully give you a little bit of insight or a little bit of advice about how to tackle this, this big, huge mammoth project, which is getting through the year in one piece. And listen here, my extroverted friends. It's time to borrow a book and a pair of slippers from your introverted buddies and take a leaf out of their book. It says, right, I'm going to give myself full screen. Sorry, Tor, because I want everybody to get on board with that. Right. Is everybody paying attention? This is everybody's tarot reading for 2025, and it tells you 3 important things that all lead into one another. It's showing you that your goal setting is on point. Tell yourself what you want. Write down what you want. It's happening. It's happening. Success is coming. But in order for that success not to miss you, you've got to be indoors, first of all. So there's going to be a lot more of focusing on what you want and a lot less of popping out for a cup of coffee, just to kind of break up the routine. And it also says to leave behind things that don't serve you. Friendships, for sure, relationships, activities that don't make you happy, that you do out of habit, that you do in order to please somebody else. And so, in short, what you're looking at here is, let me bring Tor back. What you're looking at here is the commitment that you're giving yourself in excluding stuff that doesn't work for you, including stuff that does work for you, and prioritizing your own good, your own benefit. Is it selfish? I don't think so. I think that you are a much better member of society if you work on your goals, keep your head down, keep focused, and eliminate members of a community that don't work for you. Eliminate neighbors, not like fully eliminate, but from your life, from like your consciousness. Eliminate habits that don't work in your favor. So that's kind of the first message that we've got for everybody for 2025. And of course, 2025 is, it adds up to the number 9. And the number 9 is the number of achieving and ending. It will be the end of a cycle. So where you want to be when this year ends, you'll be leaving a lot of stuff behind, one way or another. So it might as well be the stuff that doesn't suit you, that doesn't bring you happiness, that doesn't bring you to where you're ultimately going. So that's the tarot one I've got. Do you want to do some predictions?
Yeah, I do. So
I'm all ears.
first of all we have our angel number, and you'll like this. It's 111. So 3 ones.
Oh,
111. So it's like 3 new starts and once, isn't it? Like we sort of have at the moment. Actually, I think we have more than that, but um And the keywords that came up with this, it follows on really, really nicely from the tarot reading. So the keywords that come up with this are flow and clarity. So first of all, they're letting us know things are flowing the way that they should be. They're flowing clearly. So not only are we going to be getting clarity about certain situations and certain people, I'm going to repeat that, certain people, things are flowing in a clear way, so it's not like we're going to be hitting obstacles or like have big unexpected things sort of stand in the way of what we're hoping to happen. It's clear, it's clarity. And also put things in put things in motion. This is a really good time. I don't do resolutions, but what I do and what I encourage other people to do is to make a list of things that you want, a list of goals. It can be in the form of manifestation, a cosmic order, but make a list of the things that you want to happen for the year ahead, whatever way that works for you, just so that you've got like, a reference. Maybe it's new job, new house, new boyfriend, maybe it's just that you want to buy some new clothes. All the little things, just make a quick little list. It can even be really, really extravagant things that you might think are completely out of the question. Surprise yourself, write it down, surprise yourself. But with that said, we also have some patience as the final part of the keywords there. So, and I think that this is an important one because often, particularly in the UK, I think it might be like a UK cultural thing, but I'm sure it happens elsewhere too, where the 1st of January hits and there's all this nonsense all over the place about new year, new me, and people expected to, completely transform their life in 30 days. And it's all absolute nonsense. It's all absolute nonsense. Change takes time. Things take effort to happen. It's not going to happen in 30 days, right? For the moment, I mean, it might, but for the most part,
I
it's not
mean,
going to happen
some
in 30
things
days.
could happen in 30 days, but not an entire, transformation, transmutation. Some
Yeah,
things can
yeah,
happen in 30 days. You can start in 30 days, but the new year, new me is also extremely annoying because, if you're starting on the 1st of January, you're still hungover. You're probably on a
yeah,
sugar rush that would be risky to just sort of pull the plug on.
yeah. Some parts of the UK as well, they don't stop celebrating until like the second or third because you have the New Year's Eve, and then some places you celebrate the actual New Year's Day, and then you're possibly still, still celebrating on the second or third. So a lot of people don't even kind of stop the celebrations and until this time, until like the 6th of
I'm
January.
working a New Year party in London next Sunday.
There you go.
There
There you
you
go.
go. There you go. It'll be
Um,
great.
and I think the whole New Year, New Me thing, or whatever variant, it is, it puts too much pressure on people to do too much too quickly. And we have to be careful not to burn ourselves out, especially if we're trying something new, like if it is exercise or if it is, studying something new, or you know it's pace ourselves. And we also, I asked for a focus of healing, and we have forgiveness heals.
Wow.
But, and I know what you're thinking, and there was a similar message to this towards the end of last year too. And I'm not the sort of person who's ever going to sit here and say, forgive everybody, blah, blah, blah. No, no, because sometimes people need to be held accountable. Like Inbaal was saying with the tarot, sometimes we have to just cut people out, cut certain situations out, cut certain things out, release them, eliminate them. It's actually more about self forgiveness, with
Oh,
this for this year. Self forgiveness. We can't change silly things that we did or said or decisions that we made in the past. We can't. You know, we can't. We're not Doctor Who, right? Um, and even then, it usually goes, wrong. Um, so the the message with this is to just, sit with yourself and say, you know what, I can't change that. I can live with it. I can learn from it. I cannot make a hasty decision or say a hasty thing the next time. I can make better choices and I forgive myself. And that's really, really the important thing. You know, self-forgiveness, self-healing, and a little bit of meditation. You don't have to do meditations for hours on end. I know there's a lot of stuff all over the place where it's like meditate for 10 hours. You can meditate for 3 minutes and it's absolutely
Three
the same
minutes
effect.
is good. 3 minutes is great for meditation. I'm all about the sort of 30 seconds, calm each part of my body out. I'm asleep, talk to me in 6 hours.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I love a quick meditate because I think you get the benefit of it like practically instantly.
you do. You do. You get the benefit of it instantly, and I feel like you appreciate it more as well if you kind of slipping it in as like a 5 minute, a 3 minute sort of self-care thing during your lunch break, or before the day starts, or like you say, if it puts you to sleep, it's a really great way to fall asleep. I have some
Yeah.
amazing sleeps and dreams when I just do a little bit of meditation before I
So
doze
I
off.
tell you, I had a good friend, now lives in America for a long time. When she lived in the UK, she grew up in India. And she
Mm,
said that in school there, they used to have meditation classes.
wow.
I know it's like the most advanced society on our entire planet. Um, and she said that as kids, we were like, we would fall asleep sometimes during meditation lessons. So we would say, what's the benefit? But obviously, she's telling me that as a grown up. And she says, obviously, you still get the benefit, even if you fall asleep in the middle of it, you're still learning how to do it. You're still learning how to,
Mm.
calm your mind. You're still learning how to kind of soothe your thoughts. And I thought it was like the most genius thing ever.
It's amazing. I didn't know that they had meditation classes in schools in India. My mind is blown, absolutely
Right?
blown. Because
Yeah,
to have
I've been
that
carrying this with
information,
me for years.
and that skill from so young, we did actually in my primary school. We had a teacher. I won't say her name because she's not here to say yes or no. We had a fabulous teacher who was very I don't want to say new agey because I really hate that term, but she was kind of new agey. She was kind of forward thinking. And she sometimes, not all the time, she sometimes, yeah, I'm giggling because my cat's outside the door calling me.
Oh.
It's like, let me in. So she was very forward thinking, and sometimes at the end of PE class, she would say like everybody sit on the floor, lie on the floor, or lie on the gymnastic mats, and she would do like a meditation thing. But she wasn't necessarily teaching us how to do it. I think it was just to shut us up for 10 minutes.
Still, still
Yeah.
good, still good. What we got was screaming until we were quiet. The
Oh
screaming
no.
also, although my grandmother was a primary school teacher and then deputy headmistress, all in the same primary school. The primary school I went to for many years, for 40 years, and she was not a screamer at all. And
Mm,
she would go into class, and if the kids weren't quiet, she would start singing and get them to sing with her.
that's
Right?
amazing
That's
too.
like your school.
Mm.
You went to a very singy school, didn't you?
I did.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I take my what do you call it? My tone deafness from that side of the family. Both sides of the family actually are gifted with a tone deafness.
You're not
Um,
tone deaf.
I'm so
No, no, you're
no,
not.
make a sound and get me to copy it. I mean, I can already save you the trouble. It's impossible. It's impossible. So she would start singing. Singing is kind of a word for it, but sooner or later everybody joins or
Mm.
keeps quiet so that you don't so that you don't get called on. Let me catch up with some messages. um starting from Sabrina saying, I can't remember my good dreams. Usually the ones I remember are the ones of my ex's cheating. Then a few days after the dream, I find out.
Oh
Prophetic
no.
dreams, aren't they a double-edged sword? You
Yeah,
need to
I I
have them.
I prophetic dream quite a lot. And it's like you say, it's a double-edged sword because you have that information and you can't really say to like everyday people, well, I dreamt it, so I know that he's going to do that because they kind of like, eh. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's a double-edged sword. It prepares you, but you've also it sucks to have them
yeah.
come true. Mm.
Yeah, no, it's, and I think there's something about cheating that it just sort of goes straight in the dream. Because, I don't really get a lot of prophetic dreams, but my first boyfriend cheated on me. And when we met, he met up to confess. So at least that. But I was like, I already knew. I already knew. I
Yeah.
told him in advance. I was like, you tell me right now because I already know. So you say it. Confess
Oh,
under duress. Um, she says, love both readings. Mwah.
thank
And
you.
Sabrina also says that saying is big here in the US, I think referring to New Year,
New
New
year,
Me,
new
which
new year,
you
new
at the
me.
time called New Year. Exactly. New Year, New Me. Noor was saying, would like to ask a yes, no question. Absolutely. So in about 5 minutes, we're going to do whatever questions come in. We've got cards here. We've got crystal ball. We've got
I
all
actually
sorts.
have the pendulum to hand as
Have you got a
well. So
pendulum? That's so good for
yeah,
yes, no.
yeah.
Nice one. We've got a big ball and a little ball. Look at that. Just because it's uneven doesn't mean it doesn't work. And we will be doing your questions. So, Noor, send your question in. I'm going to put it in my special folder here. And then Lorna Nicole came in saying, Yoo-hoo,
Woohoo.
everyone. Wishing everyone all they wish for in 2025. Thank you. And saying, could we have discussion one week about dreams? Absolutely. Yeah, we are in. About the meditation,
Super
saying
in.
that would have been amazing to have that knowledge at
Mm.
school. And Lorna is greeting everyone.
Hi,
So,
Lorna.
very, very briefly, before the questions come in, um, I did want to discuss like my new celebrity pairing obsession. I've got like a new celebrity couple that I love so much. And last night I was booked to cover the Golden Globes. It sounds I wasn't like wearing feathers with a microphone on the red carpet. Sadly,
Yet.
um,
Yet.
I was sitting at home, curled up around a bottle of water and the rest of the Christmas snacks. And I was typing them up for a PR company who then sort of sends it to newspapers and magazines and so on. And one of my favorite celebrity couples were in attendance, and the comedian was making fun of them a little bit because they've only just got engaged. And I am so obsessed with them. So it is Selena Gomez, who was by the way nominated to two Best Actress awards, double
Oh,
nomination.
wow.
One of them in a Spanish language movie, one of them in an English language. The girl is so gifted. So she is a former Disney star,
Mm.
had gone through all the maturing in the public eye, and she is with Benny Blanco, who is who doesn't look Hollywood, but is like, so minted. You could smell him coming from the smell of money. So he's like a long-term producer, and he's got like a sideline as being a foodie, and he's got like his little channel that he cooks on, and he has like people over. And I can't remember
You
which
mean as part of the
awards.
channel? Like it's not just inviting random
Yeah.
people over. Come
No,
on
it's
in.
like it's really high profile people. Now, because I don't really know music, then when they started dating, I didn't know who he was. So I had to do like another red carpet thing in a different awards show months ago, where it was like, Selena Gomez and her new boyfriend. And what does it mean that he came on the red carpet with her? Who is he? Because he doesn't really look red carpet and he dresses whatever he likes. Love that. So in that, I developed like an unbridled obsession. I'm not even sorry about it, where she's like really old Hollywood, so glamorous, so stunning. And he's there with what my hair would be like if I didn't have straighteners. And, and wearing like a mismatched suit with the socks showing and stuff. And I had to do their body language, and their body language was like fabulous. He was playing at being that guy that looks like he lives under a bridge, but he is like so super successful. And I love that dichotomy. And then a few weeks ago, I was asked to do their astrology for like the Express US or something. And they are Cancer and Pisces. So
Oh.
both water signs, both really romantic, but she's Cancer with a lot of Leo. So it's not like, Cancer sitting at home doing her knitting, dreaming about her man. This is Cancer standing on the red carpet, absolutely killing it. Martin Short on the one side, Steve Martin on the other side, everybody sort of telling her how gifted and talented she is. And he
Yeah.
is a Pisces with loads of Capricorn. So that is, that's not a Pisces, again,
That makes a lot
sitting,
of sense
sitting
for
at,
him, actually.
right?
Yeah.
So you can see it that he'll take art and turn it into business. So that's a producer. He'll take food and turn it into, into something that increases his followership. And that kind of weird dichotomy in each of them that clearly kind of fits each other so well was adorable to me. So I don't gush about a lot of couples because it's so rare to get like a really interesting hook between two people. I've got
Hmm.
that. There's one of the royal couples, um, the Zara Phillips and Mike Tyndall. And in their part of the family, everybody's divorced, no disrespect. Sometimes divorce is the best thing you can do for your family. But in a family where everybody's sort of really a free spirit in dating, they are close and getting closer. And one of them, and I don't remember who, is Taurus with Libra rising, and the other one is Libra with Taurus rising. So that is
Oh,
just, that is
that's
a
interesting.
yin yang, that is a magnet. That is an unbreakable
Mm.
magnet. So I'm obsessed with their charts. I am unfortunately obsessed with the Benefer star charts. I know, so tragic, but it's just there'll be a third marriage, maybe even a fourth.
I was just opening my mouth to say, give it a few years, and they will
Right.
be, yeah. Um, I feel just so dreadful for Jenny, for having gone through that publicly twice with the same person. Because everybody was kind of poking fun at them a little bit, where when they got back together, like, oh haha, here we go again. And to go through that so publicly, and I think that she's handled it with such dignity
Grace.
and
Yeah,
such
she's so
grace,
elegant.
and the way that she's spoken about it. And she took a little bit of time off, she had to cancel the tour and stuff like that, but now she's like, yeah, I've got these films out, I'm going back to the studio, um you know a remix of Waiting for Tonight just did really well. So she's really back on the treadmill of it, so to speak. But I think you're absolutely right. I think that
on the Leo mill.
yeah, and I think that they will be. We've not seen the end of Ben and Jennifer. I can't
We've
say that.
not seen the end.
Jennifer
Yeah,
thing.
Jennifer Mark III. And I think that the tragedy of their Leo union is the tragedy that any Leo union would have, because their undoing was how public everything was twice.
Twice. Yeah.
Twice. If
Yeah.
they
Jane
were,
Fonda told her, stop it. Don't make that film. Stop it. Because if you do that, if you do all this so publicly again, Jane Fonda said, like, it's going to fall apart. And I'm so invested in you two as a couple. Not me, Jane Fonda. And you know, Jane was right. Always listen to Jane Fonda is the lesson here.
I know, I love her so much.
Me
But yeah,
too.
so at the moment, my obsession is Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. I am following what they're up to. And when I got asked to look at their charts, it was, you know, just ahead of Christmas. I had so much writing to do, such a lot. And it was something that was really only going to be featured in one small article. It wasn't really such a big deal. And the journalist was like, you know, have you got the capacity to do it? And I was like, absolutely, yes. Absolutely. I will sleep a little bit less. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sabrina says, I see Jello as Latina Elizabeth Taylor, right?
Yeah.
So like the most glamorous, the most refined, the most elegant. And how do we cast Selena Gomez? Because she's you know, the sort of double nomination.
Well, you know, Selena Gomez was named after Selena, the singer Selena, who that was kind of Jennifer Lopez's breakout role, was playing Selena in the biopic. So there is a bit of a connection there.
That's really interesting. That is really interesting. So Sabrina, who is also a Cancer, just like Selena, says, can I have a positive reading? Shall we get started with a few readings?
Yeah, we should, because we've only got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the men with the big hooks will be coming in a minute.
Entire year. We need to take a week in between shows, you know, to recharge. So some positive cards for Sabrina. Right. Look. Listen. Focus on one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So if the focus is now on finding work or on making good decisions with finances, then that is the focus. The anxiety, sorry, the card with the money fell. I want to pick it back up. I can't even see where it went to. Sorry, card with money, please come back. All is forgiven. I'm back.
Did you get it?
Yeah, with my toes.
Where did it land? Did it land on anything specific? Sometimes when the cards land somewhere, there's like a message in that too.
It landed between my feet.
There you go.
Right? So, you know, so like step up, get the basis. So here it's showing that when anxiety takes over, what anxiety does to you is try to divert you from what you're doing. You are, no, I'm very sorry, anxiety. I'm going back to smashing what I'm doing. And also it says, don't tell people a lot. Don't tell people a lot. Not because they're out to get you. Absolutely not. Not because you would then be, you know, sharing too much. No, because when you tell people, because you're a very inclusive and kind and welcoming person, you'll use disempowering words for yourself. Whereas when you set a goal and go for it. You're like positive words, everything is sort of, uplifting. When you tell others, you're like, yeah, I'm just doing this, I'm just trying this. So this is actually, I know it doesn't sound like super positive, but this is important to keep the focus one thing at a time. Don't share too much. Intrusive thoughts come in, straight back out. What have you got there, Tor, for Sabrina? Something positive?
Sabrina, this is really a year to be focusing on yourself. So a little bit like the general message, self-healing, focusing on, what you want, being very, very kind to yourself. Again, we have that sort of self-forgiveness coming up just in a slightly different way because it's specific for you. Um, but but really what they're screaming in my ear is to be kinder to yourself, and I feel like you're going to learn to be a bit kinder to yourself this year. And also they're saying as well that it's okay to not get things 100% perfect the first time. It's okay to trip up, make mistakes, fall back. um the the process of learning from the mistakes is healing in itself. And they are saying to me that it is going to be a much better year this year than it has been, you know, the past. I want to say, has the past 2-3 years for you, Sabrina, been a bit difficult? And again, we have those positive words coming up, really, really positive self-talk. Write down some affirmations actually that you feel would benefit you. We did a whole fantastic episode about affirmations on a different thing. You'll be able to find it if you type in Torah and Inbaal, but I'm not going to promote it exactly, because it is a different show, which you might find beneficial.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'll send you the link if I can find the link, or at least the how to find it. Fabulous. Lorna Nicole, still at the Golden Globe, says you would look amazing on the red carpet in full witch gear. Absolutely.
Oh,
Although, don't they do it like in California where it's 150 degrees at all times? But I would wear whatever you want me to wear. Anything. I
it's
would
air
go in
conditioned.
there, yeah, covered in sweat. I'll do it. Absolutely. Um, and Sabrina responds to Selena saying, I love her. I love her and Benny Blanco together. So exciting. Poncho Zorch says, you had me at glamorous. You had me
Uh,
too, babe. And he says, is there a negative reading? There could be if you want negative reading. Funnily enough, the in my sort of private readings, I've got my rainbow reading, which is like all positive, but then to
mm,
counter it, I've also got the shadow reading, which is when you deal with with the things that are really, really sort of difficult in your life. Sabrina, I can see your message. I cannot flash it on screen because it includes one of the words we're not allowed to say. In my house, we refer to it as the S word. Um,
I'm sorry to hear that, Sabrina. I've just seen them. I'm sorry to hear that, but this year is better. That's why they're telling you to kind of take this step back and focus on yourself, because it looks like the focus, as well as it looks like the focus has been all over the place too. Like you've not had a lot of time to just sit and go, oh, hi, Sabrina, I love me, you know. So do
yeah,
that.
very, very cute. We've got a request from Blossom saying, can I have a reading, a general? Absolutely. And Poncho, if you fancy just sort of trying out a bit of a shadow reading, just ask. We'll do it. We'll do it. Positive, negative. It's all the same, babe. It's all the same. It's only perception. Oh no, don't apologize. Sabrina says, sorry, don't apologize.
No, don't apologize. No.
It is what it is. We're not here to judge, just, uplift. So with Blossom, what have you got there, Tor?
Oh, I hadn't shuffled yet.
All right. Oh, I'll I'll jump in. Right. Blossom, big, big year for you. Big, big, huge year. Look at that. Good shuffling, good shuffling. 3 out of 3 major arcana cards. Big year coming up for you. Your psychic ability, extraterrestrial. Your creative ability, your ability to say things and then see them happen before your very eyes, extraordinary. And also, there's a house move, and I think it's a bit of an extreme house move. So I don't know if you were looking at kind of job offers abroad or something like that. It's a huge year for you where you transform on the inside a bit for the better, but you transform on the outside in such a positive, exciting, empowering way that may leave your jaw right on the floor. What if you're what? Ah, whoa.
Blossom, so your wish is granted. What you've been hoping for, what you want to happen, is going to happen. I wouldn't even say this year. I would actually say probably before March. I do also get we have Connect with Nature here too, which does talk about moving around a bit. Okay, so just to back that up and clarify it. Now we have the pregnancy card here. This could be an actual pregnancy. This could be if your wish was to have a baby. Congratulations. But the pregnancy card often comes up when like a fantastic idea is coming to fruition. So, maybe like a business idea or just, it could also be a house move. But I don't think it's a house move or an idea. I feel like it might actually be a little blossom.
Oh, a blossom of a blossom. How adorable. Believe it or not, we're coming to the end of our first show. So this has been our New
Who was
Year.
the who was the person who wanted the yes no question?
It was Noor, but she never sent it. Was it Noor?
Oh, I'll tell you what, if we just say ask yes or no.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yes. So whatever it was you were thinking about asking, the answer is yes. Oh, nearly hit me in the eye. It's a big yes, a big yes. Um, yeah, big yes. Celebration card. There you go.
That is exciting. So I did realize that I did not put our scrolly under the screen. So now we've got our names and our Instagram handles scrolling in. So if you want to get in touch with either of us, do not be shy. You will find us. Oh, Blossom has got back very quickly before we finish, saying thank you so much. I've been
You're welcome.
wanting a move,
There
so
you go.
things are happening. Things are happening. Sabrina says, awesome first show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And and Lorna says, wow, that was in no doubt to our lovely pendulum too. It's a decisive pendulum, isn't
Mm.
it?
I've been working with this particular pendulum this for for about 16 years, I think. So she's a little bit battered, she's a little bit bruised, and I've had other pendulums since, but she's always like, no, 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 I'm the bestie pendulum. I'm the one who sits in the bag with the cards, and so she's rose quartz, and this is just a regular chain. Um, but yeah, I absolutely, she feels like a bestie, so I can see why
Yeah.
she shoves the other pendulums aside.
Oh, how beautiful. So thank you everybody for joining us. It's been so amazing to spend this time with you. We will be back for a regular Predict the Week. Yeah, this time next week minus 1 hour. Make sure you follow the Bigfoot Outlaw Grizzly channel on YouTube. That way you'll get notifications, and you'll be able to get notified when we go on air and a little bit before. Make sure you like and subscribe and tell all of your friends about us and send us loads and loads of messages and good vibes. And that way we get to stay on air.
Thank you so much for joining us for the first show of the year. I've been Tor, and this has been Inbaal. And we'll see you to predict more weeks very, very soon. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
They say